You're watching Around the Bay Sports. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and follow us on our Instagram page at Around the Bay Sports. Let's get to it. Let's see how our host is doing.
I'm Drew.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Amon in for Jesse. And this is
Around.
The Bay.
Sports. It's a new day. The first time of our new schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays, still same time, but here we are, folks. As for our title today, it's chaos. Not just the NFL, even college itself. College football kicked off a couple days back, and we'll get our reactions on that. Glad for people to chime in. 7 people already want to see us, guys. So appreciate it.
Off to a great
But
start.
yeah, let's get right to it. Before we do, in case you guys didn't know, I just got back from Milwaukee today, and saw the Brewers took on the Giants. A good game for the Giants. That probably might have been their biggest series this whole season. But I just want to give you guys a real, just quick taste of Milwaukee, because Milwaukee is something special. Like, I should have, maybe someday we should travel together and give you a good taste of Milwaukee. But for me, Milwaukee is like a second home. I've been there practically most of my childhood. I have family there that's been living there for years, and it's just a place I think you guys would enjoy. It's quite a big city too. There's a lot bigger parts that I didn't know about, but just thought something to share. But as for the Brewers game, the game I went to, they did a very beautiful kind of like farewell to a former Brewer that was a Brave, that team used to become the Milwaukee Braves, as well as he was a broadcaster since the 70s to 2024. And in case you guys didn't know, Bob Uecker did pass away of January of this year at the age of 90. So he lived a good long life. But the documentary, Bob Costas was there. That was kind of a shocker, but he knew him in the broadcasting world, and they did that so beautiful. Like they kind of just broke down his life of just as a player. He was with the '64 Cardinals the year they won the World Series. But for Milwaukee, he was born in Milwaukee, but the city loves him. And I don't know, in case you didn't know, if you guys seen those like old commercials of like Miller Lite, the great seats, hey buddy, like they broke it down. Not only that, even people he used to do little shows. Like, I don't know if you guys know the movie. I think it's called Baseball, but I'm sure that's more to it. But like Baseball, I don't know. He did a part of an act of being the commentator. Like, he was even in long ago in WWF with Andre the Giant. Like, he did a little segment with them. He got like Andre the Giant was like, choking him like as for humor. But it's like he was such a great person. But I just thought to share that real quick as we get going. But guys, if you have any questions just about Milwaukee, you can hopefully answer.
Well, Amon, why don't you describe to us, like, you said I don't recall you were told us the other day that you were wearing like I believe it was a Giants hat and a Brewer shirt, or was it the opposite?
Well, I changed my mind, so I go full Brewers gear just because it's
okay.
just Milwaukee itself.
Right,
I realized I could have switched. But since you said that stadium, I could see every game there. Like, it's a closed dome, so it's a dome, so it will open on the sun, but if it's like raining, they'll close it. And it's a beautiful, like on a Friday night or any night game, like just the lighting, the field. It's like it's quite a sight to see, no matter where you sit. Honestly, just the way they designed it. But yeah, in case if you guys follow us on our Instagram page, I just kind of guys keep you informed of the game, and it was quite exciting. Giants pulled it off. It was a great one for the Giants. For the Brewers, it's just like, well, unexpected.
Yeah, there was a good series for the Giants. They won 2 of the 3 games, which is definitely huge for them because they've been playing really awful recently, and they have the series against the Cubs. But yeah, it was good to see them beat the Brewers. I watched the game that Amon was at. The last strike call, it wasn't a strike. It was honestly a ball. But yeah, good for the Giants, and glad Amon had a great time there.
Yeah.
It's just a place to go. But let's get right to it. Let's go where the people want to see. Sticking with baseball, real quick. These guys didn't know there's an angry bird in the MLB, but not an actual bird, it's a player of Wilson Contreras, brother William Contreras, the Brewers. And he just spent 6 games with six games with fines or penalties we do not know yet. But yeah, Jack, break it down. You saw the video.
Yeah, a couple minutes before we went live, I was watching the video where there was like this pitch shown. It was an obvious strike call. I don't know what he was complaining about at all. I'm very confused. Then he starts walking away. He says to the then he walks back to him, and there's 4 or 5, 4 people holding him back. Then he starts walking away, and then he tosses his bat at one of his coaches. I don't know who it was, but it hit him in the head, and that's just a disgrace to baseball. And after I saw that, I was like, so not only did you have a pointless ejection, now you just act like a complete idiot. Guys like that don't deserve to play the game of baseball at all. And after that, all that stuff that happened, he went back to his dugout, and he tossed a whole bucket of bubble gum onto the field. You're doing that much of complaining after an obvious strike call, and you do that. He deserved to get suspended 6 games. He deserved to have. It's not officially known how much he got fined. I don't think they're going to disclose that, but yeah, Wilson Contreras is a disgrace to the Cardinals.
I mean, yeah, just when I heard about that, I'm like, what? Because I remember one time a Mariners player literally threw the bat at the pitcher because he was mad when he got hit by the ball. So it was just now we got this. I mean, geez, people. Was it an obvious strike, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little low, but it was still in the strike zone. That is a clear hittable ball. Some people Judge, Ohtani, or any of those guys would have anybody in baseball would agree that was a strike.
Yeah.
Anyone with the brain cell in their brain knows that that's a strike.
Drew,
the only guy that doesn't have one apparently is Wilson Contreras.
I guess so. Drew, what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's just not right. It's obviously, I saw the video too. It was obviously a strike 3, It was kind of pointless, throw the bat at your coach, and throwing bubble gums on the field. It's just I don't care there. So I think that was just bad move on his part. So
I feel like maybe he should just suspend a little bit more than that. Maybe 10 or 15. It's he literally hit a bat on his coach. I don't know if it was the manager or the batting coach. But it's just come on, dude. Hopefully when he sees the film, he realizes, oh, that was a clear strike. But
yeah, he's gonna have to apologize, and if he just does nothing about it, then
that's a whole different.
That's his problem.
All right, let's get to some football, guys. So yeah, preseason officially concluded. The Packers did well; they won 20-7. The Raiders, they didn't get a win, but they played well. And for the Niners, apparently had a little shootout with the Chargers to end it. So let's get right to that. Drew, what's you seen the game? What's your takes? What do you like? What do you dislike? Your team
I would have been like Jack if Jake Moody missed that PAT again. When they scored another touchdown, I was like, really again? And then he ended up making it. And then, yeah, the second half, they just flipped the script. Defense stepped up big. Even though it was a preseason game, preseason. So, second, third string will play a lot. But, yeah, the defense played a lot better. And then offense, I think they scored 2 consecutive touchdowns. It's either a touchdown or a field goal. And, I think it was a touchdown and then a field goal. And then they stepped up, and then what's his name? Terrell Owens' son scored a touchdown. I was like, freaking dope. That's really dope. And then yeah, it was good. Jim Harbaugh coming back to the Bay, and then Naval Bowman. I did not know he was part of the coaching staff in the Chargers. So it was good to see us, come back. Carter Bradley, he played a better game than I saw the last 2 games. So, hopefully we can keep it up, keep the momentum heading to Seattle.
Jack.
Well, am I talking about the Niners, or am I talking about the entire preseason?
We'll start with the Niners.
Niners.
Okay. There were some moves that honestly I was not really okay with for certain guys that they just got rid of. Like, for example, the Niners got rid of I know they got rid of Robbie Chosen, which honestly I don't know why they got rid of him. He was pretty decent at the receiver spot, and he did very well in the preseason. You also got rid of Jeff Wilson Jr., which I wouldn't have done because Guerrero is still recovering from his injury, and he's very injury prone. So I'm also worried about that. I don't really know much about this Jordan James guy. That's probably going to be the 4th string. This is going to be McCaffrey. It's going to be Brian Robinson Jr., which is arguably, to me, the best 1-2 punch running backs in the league. And then you got Guerrero and where are this other guys? I would have kept Jeff Wilson Jr. He scored 2 touchdowns in 3 games. So I would have kept him personally, but I don't know what they're doing. They also got rid of this other guy that was, to me, really like a fairly decent player. They also got rid of sorry folks. They also that's pretty much it. But the important thing is you still keep Jake Moody. I don't understand how somebody scores 2 touchdowns in 3 games and Jake Moody missed at least 1 attempt in every I think he missed 1 attempt in every single game he played in preseason. I don't get how people play like garbage and still play for an NFL team. And Jake Moody, this is why, if Janice were on here, he'd be like, oh, Jake Moody's still a great kicker. Great kickers don't miss PATs. They don't.
I mean, Moody's not the only one that does.
I'm gonna try to break your. Go ahead. I'm gonna try to find certain breakdowns. Go ahead.
Okay, but I just think you really like. How long have you been in this league so far?
This is his 3rd year, I believe.
3 years. And when you guys drafted in like a 4th round, which is probably quite high for a kicker. Usually it's like maybe at least 6 or 7 at most. But I just feel you guys are going a little too. Yeah, like who's going to replace? I know they had Greg Joseph.
Bring back Greg Joseph. He had a better practice style than Jake Moody did. Jake Moody went 21 of 24. Greg Joseph went 23 of 24. And you still cut him. I just don't understand. Like, have the Niners just gotten mad or something?
No, maybe they're just focusing. Maybe they're focusing more on the talent aspect.
It's like every time Jake Moody. Because honestly, if I were Kyle Shanahan, Jake Moody would never see the field unless it was a PAT. But it's just if Jake Moody just gets in these situations, you are going to lose a part of yourself, and you're going to lose some years of your life, and that is a risk from week 1 to 17.
But how about these guys?
And against Seattle, if he is going to get multiple kicks and the Niners are down by 3 with 2 seconds left and he has to kick a 40 or some yard field goal, my heart is going to explode. I can't handle it.
I just feel like you're too hard on it. Well, Jack, you, but Drew, I don't know if you're the same. Are you the same?
No.
But what's your take with Moody so far? You guys drafted him in like the 4th round. He's from the good old came from the good old College of Michigan. Great kicker in that time. Great kicker as a college. But like, okay, so what's your take with Moody? Clearly, here, Jax. But what's just about Moody? 3 years in the league so far. Like, Ray Drew, what's like about Moody? What's your takes?
I don't know. I feel like great kicker have like terrible starts and then overall like over time they get better. Like last year he didn't have a great year. Probably killed like 71%, but no, he was injured last year. But I think this year's gonna be his revenge year. So hopefully he can get better this year.
Sure, I might as well just buy a Jake Moody jersey just to support him. Teach.
If somebody actually wasted their money and bought a Jake Moody jersey, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them. You wasted your money. I don't know how much. Okay, let's see. Let's look this up really fast. Because how much is a Jake Moody jersey going to cost you? It's going to cost you definitely over $100. That's
probably 110.
You know what? You should go find a Jake Moody at like the dollar store or something. Because that's how.
We're in Michigan, and that's where.
Well, I mean, okay, Michigan. I mean, that's where he went to college, so that's understandable.
Yeah,
but he's been the last few years. He's been the most inconsistent kicker in the NFL. Let's see, jersey. How much is a jersey going to cost?
Well, forget the jersey, but like who else has been having bad careers starts? Right, we can hold that topic for another time, but. Let's get back on the path here. But
$130 for a Jake Moody jersey? Oh my God!
It's an NFL jersey.
It's got Moody on the back of it. Oh my God! $385. Yeah, this is our society is definitely screwed. When you're gonna make a Jake Moody jersey over $130 plus tax.
Welcome to California.
I give up, people. Jake Moody, I can't trust him as far as I want to throw him. This dude better play well this season. He better make most of his kicks. Hell, he better make all of his kicks.
You do have a bet on Jake Moody.
Yeah.
What was the bet again?
It was
I've been ranting about him.
It was like kicking percentage. It was kicking percentage.
What was
the percentage again? Because I forgot.
It was like 70 something.
You said 76 and just to like 81 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
in that range. But let me go to my stick with the good old Wisconsin. Just going to the Packers. The Packers won 20-7, and I mean a strong ending. I know overall week 1 that was a disaster. Got annihilated.
Oh, I know he's talking.
Okay. Before the string quarterback also went. That was probably Tanner Mordecai or Carter Bradley, who both are gone, by the way.
Yeah.
But I feel like overall the Packers did pretty good. I know week 1 was definitely quite embarrassing, losing by that much.
Yeah. Also, for the Packers, why did they play Jordan Love? And all of a sudden he just gets hurt.
Yeah, LaFleur said he said in a conference saying I want to try to do all 4 quarterbacks. I'm like, are you what? No.
Yeah, I would only do that for one drive because that's what the Niners only played Brock Purdy, I believe, for one drive. Didn't see the football field after.
I don't know if the Packers the only team that's thought of doing this decision, doing four QBs, but it's like don't do Love. But look, Jordan Love's fine. He's coming week 1, all good, and we'll see when the NFL season kicks off. But I feel like overall the Packers did good. Even after that little not so good start, they stepped it up, winning the last 2. They did beat Seattle to end it, but yeah, and to beat the Colts. So overall, they did good, and we'll get to cuts in our next segment. But then for the Raiders, I was busy on my trip, so I didn't get to catch it. But looking at the score, they didn't get a win. But of course, the player that I've been so excited about, the Tom Brady pickup, Cam Miller. though the Raiders did make some trades and signings. Maybe she's not ready yet, but we'll get to that shortly. But Raiders, I feel like they no wins, but they still have that fighting spirit that we all Raider fans love to see. Jesse would have had his takes about the Raiders if he caught the game. Unfortunately, he's not feeling too well, so a little under the weather. But hopefully, will join us in the next episode. But yeah, let's get right to it, the rosters and every reaction. Like Jack mentioned about the Niners cuts for the Packers, though. I guess the one player I thought they might keep was Isaiah Simmons. I figured when he got signed,
right?
yeah, linebacker. Like I know our linebacker core is pretty strong, but I feel like getting like a veteran like that I feel like we should have kept him. But I mean, I was like, okay. And then McCole Hardman got cut. The former Chief receiver, he got cut as well. Like I'm not really. I don't know. He just didn't break. He didn't break the.
Interesting.
Yes, Simons got cut and McCole Hardman got cut. I don't maybe for
McCole Hardman. I'm more interested because he was pretty good at Kansas City, and now you just get rid of him.
Yeah, like I don't know because I know with the first rounder of Goldman from Texas, I don't know if it's with that. I just feel like for that was also interesting because just thinking about it. That could those two moves was quite surprising just in all aspects because though Christian Kirk's still recovering from his injury, I know you got Jaden Reed with Goldman and like a few other like young receivers, but maybe I don't know, it's more of talent over experience. I have really no idea what those decisions, but yeah, that was the first two moves they did, and then they set the roster. I thought maybe Tyler Elgserma will at least make the cut, but maybe he's in the practice squad. There's just run with the two QBs of Love and Malik Willis, but everything else is pretty much stand for what Van Ness, all the great starters for Green Bay's defense. But yeah, and then for the Raiders. Unfortunately, I don't have too much information on that team. This is where Jesse will come in, but as you guys heard about my takes for the preseason, but we have other news. Several with our teams, the Raiders, Packers, and Niners. Let's go with the Browns. So the Browns finally got their QB. We know about Joe Flacco starting, and we thought maybe Shedeur, but fortunately not. Dylan Gabriel, the third-round pick from Oregon. He'll be the backup. And Shedeur is on the roster. It's not like he got cut because that would just be crazy. But
that would actually be one of our main conversations.
That was the main conversation for this episode. But he's on the roster as a third string. So let's just get our quick take on that aspect of just Shedeur. I mean, it was expected, but I feel like even overall people with their takes, they figured he should have got the starting role, at least a backup, So
I watched a little bit of that game. Dylan, I don't know why I keep saying the other name. Dylan Gabriel played a lot better than Shedeur Sanders did in that game, so that earned Dylan Gabriel that second spot, which it's hard for us to admit, but it's the truth. I mean, that's how it is. But Shedeur Sanders, I noticed in the game, he had a horrible offensive lineman, but there was this one play where he was running all over the place and didn't throw the football out of bounds, and then he just takes a sack, like just absolutely nothing. And he got sacked 5 times. He got sacked 5 times for being a drive. And there was this play where the Browns had less than 2 minutes left to go, and they needed to take the lead. I believe it was for a touchdown. And all of a sudden, you put in Tyler Huntley, who's not even on the team anymore, by the way. He got released. Someone else is going to pick him up, but he got released. And then he goes like a little bit of yards and scores a touchdown. Honestly, people can say oh, he's Stefanski is trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. I've heard people say that kind of stuff. I don't really believe that. but there's something definitely going on in the Browns locker room. I know Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are not getting along at all. I know they have a little beef going as it is. Excuse me, but between the coach and Shedeur, I heard it's not a good bond either. So that's another thing that's concerning.
That is interesting. So I mean, Cleveland, that franchise, I mean, they have drafted players through that franchise has drafted some good players that became Hall of Famers. But yeah, just they're in a rough patch, and now just hearing all about what Jack just input, like Shedeur, not the best game, got inside throw away the ball, try to keep it, but then the in the locker room itself, like just getting a little not arguments, but just a little discomfort in there, and you know how that could affect a team. So Drew, like, what's your take? Like hearing Jack's reaction.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Dylan Yo did play a better game than Shedeur because, like Jack said, yeah, I saw a play where he held the ball way too long. Like, he just held the ball way too long. Yeah, don't offensive lineman is not the best, but like still, you can't have the ball for a long time, and but I didn't expect that, him having disagreement with his teammates, like that just shows that how he is a teammate. So I feel like you just gotta fix that, fix your value as a teammate. So I feel like you just need to be a team player at this point. Like, yeah, you're not getting a starting or backup, but like just be a good team player. Like that's how a coach is gonna get you going. Like, yeah, that's how you get your time. Just be a great leader.
All right. Yeah, like as you said, like team leader. I mean, if he's going to be hopefully be the part of the next great QB they haven't got in a while. I mean, Baker Mayfield, but I mean, Mayfield was good when he got the starting role for Cleveland, but I feel like for Shedeur, a lot of aspects like whoever drafts him might help their franchise out hopefully in the long run. And I get it, like I don't know, he's getting the Jordan Love sort of style treatment. Love 4 years on the bench as a backup behind Aaron Rodgers. I know that might be a little in a different aspect, but hopefully things cool down in Cleveland. Hopefully they can get some common ground. Hopefully Gabriel and Shedeur, hopefully they can find some common ground. Hopefully they can at least become teammates or even friends if they go that far. But let's get to other reactions. So the Saints, they finally got their decision on quarterback. They drafted the QB out of NC State. They had Spencer Rattler. They had another quarterback that was in the race for one, but the Saints, Kellen Moore, the new head coach.
Yeah, his name was Tyler Show. I believe he's a rookie out of Louisville.
Yeah,
Louisville, NC State. But they're going with Spencer Rattler. He had a little experience starting last season, and like he came out of South Carolina State. Jeez. That's right. South Carolina State. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
he went to South Carolina. That's the
He
one.
went to South Carolina.
Yeah, he was a 5th-round pick out of South Carolina. And you want me to fill the stats, or do you want to do it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Spencer Rattler, he's a 2024 5th-round pick out of South Carolina. He has played 7 games so far in his career for the Saints, and he started in 6 of them. What is his? And that was the time when he was filling in for Derek Carr when Derek Carr got hurt. Now he's retired. Guess what his record was when Spencer Rattler had to come in and cover for Derek Carr during those times? Guess what his record was?
Not good, but hopefully do
something.
0-6. 0-6.
So you're putting in a starter that has gone 0-6 so far that he's been playing. To anybody who does fantasy football, do not draft anyone that plays for the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are going to be they are going to be a mess. I don't care if they have Alvin Kamara. however you say his last name. I don't care if they have Chris Olave. Michael Thomas is not the man he used to be. The Saints are going to be the worst team in football. I'm going to put that out there. They're going to be the worst team in football. They're going to win, I would say, 3 games max. And their defense is not that great either. I don't care if they still have that one guy. I don't remember what it is. I think Cam Jordan, I believe his name is.
Michael Jordan. Yeah,
but I obviously wish Spencer Rattler the best of luck. I mean, he's got a cool last name. I mean, Rattler, it's pretty cool. But this was the Saints fans aren't going to expect too much. Honestly, if I was the Saints, I would just look forward to have Arch Manning on your team when he gets drafted, so he can be like he'd be like Archie Manning, who's family, and he play on the Saints also. But good luck to the Saints. They're going to be a mess this year. Honestly, they could have started anyone. They could have started us at quarterback, and they would still have the same record.
Yeah, I'm sure that could have worked. Drew?
I mean, yeah, just having 0-6 record is insane. I mean, he went to South Carolina. He came from South Carolina. I don't know. I guess they prioritize experience over, I guess, anything. So I guess experience matter.
It's going to be the worst division in football. Like, seriously, that division is going to be terrible.
Always been that
terrible.
Yeah, and just they prioritize experience, and yeah, I think Saints going to have Saints fans. You're going to have a messy year this year. So,
I mean, like the Saints, sure, they didn't get they have the same record as the Raiders did. They lost to the Chargers, tied with the Jags, and lost to the Broncos in the finale. But like, I feel like
the Niners play against the Saints in week 2. Let's go. You better if.
I don't know.
If the Niners lose that game because of Jake Moody, I'm gonna fly to New Orleans and beat his ass.
Oh my God!
But like I'm just looking at the box score for the.
I'm looking at the Saints schedule right now. They're gonna lose most of these games, guaranteed.
I mean, really, the decision was Tyler Show or Rattler was pretty much what he was going for. Was the debate?
Yeah, that's like the only 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
Okay, so it was just
like
the
bring in the punter. I don't understand.
But yeah, I mean, as Jack mentioned, like, is it a good move? I mean, is it the best move? Sure. Like, Rattler did get a little experience. Yes, he went 0-6. But since I guess just having some in-season experience was probably maybe the approach he was going for. Sure, they could have went for the rookie just to start, maybe roll with him and see maybe as he grows, then maybe they can Saints. Right now the Saints are pretty much finding their new quarterbacks. It's Drew Brees. So it's like they're still searching that, and Rattler, could he be it? Maybe we'll see this season. Maybe the growth will go on, but sure, they might be absolutely terrible and go for the number 1 pick or at least top 3. But on to other moves. We're actually going to go back to the Raiders. So during the preseason game that I forgot to mention that just came to me, Aiden O'Connell broke his wrist and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So I thought Cam Miller being the backup, because I feel like he's done well enough to deserve a backup spot. But no, the Raiders made a couple moves. They got the 4th round pick from 2015. 4th round pick from 2015. And in case you didn't know, during those times, the Raiders were in Oakland. And Coop is coming back home. I know he's going to Vegas, but he's back with that Raiders team. And through his career so far, he has gone over 225 catches, over 3,000 yards, and 64 touchdowns. In the time that's his career so far. And like in the time with the Raiders, this is when John Gruden took over. Raiders traded him to Cooper to Dallas. That was a bit crazy. And then he's been going to Buffalo, went to Cleveland, had a pretty good year there, and then went to Dallas and then went to Buffalo. And now he's back with the Raiders. And the reason that the Raiders made this move is because Jacoby Myers requested a trade just because his his contract is coming up, and the expectancy. Sorry, guys. My brains are all over the place right now. What's the term, guys? Sorry.
Contract negotiation.
No, like guarantee money.
Oh,
Like he's running out of that, so I guess he just wants to work a deal. Work a deal with. That's pretty much what he wants. The Raiders don't want to trade him. I don't expect him. He should be traded. He's been having a good career so far since signing or trading with us. So it's like, what's your guys' takes on just the Raiders' moves on just Amari Cooper and Myers?
I think it's a great pickup for the Raiders. Hearing this Jakobi Meyers news about him requesting a trade, we still don't know further details about that. But
I'm assuming
there's been certain issues between the two where there have been contract issues where he wants to get his money, but he hasn't really proved himself yet. And I remember Jakobi Meyers and the Niners were interested in a trade, or during free agency they're interested in signing him. But this is a good pickup for the Raiders. I liked Amari Cooper a lot when he first went to the Raiders. That was around the time where I first became a Raider fan, when I first started watching football. But it's also a very good veteran signing as well. And he'll be very useful for Geno Smith. And he'll give Geno Smith a high-value target because Amari Cooper, he's fast, he's athletic, he's got good hands. And I think it's good to see him back in a Raider uniform. Just wish it was in Oakland and not Vegas.
Okay, so there was some news I wanted to share that I wasn't sure was yet confirmed, but I just looking at some sources. So Amari Cooper actually decided to choose the Raiders over the Niners. So that was the decision. So the Niners were actually willing to sign him. I know Jackson mentioned that throughout these few streams.
Yeah, I heard a source like that.
But so he made a decision to want to be a Raider over a Niner. But Drew, what's your take?
I mean, great pickup. He was there first time in his career. That where started his career. Obviously, they get a veteran. He played. He have been playing with really good QBs like Derek Carr, Josh Allen. Like he's been playing those high-profile quarterbacks. So I feel like having Geno as a target is going to be beneficial for the Raiders. I mean, but yeah, it's a good pickup for the Raiders. And then besides Jakobi Meyers, I felt it would be good for us, but like I don't think the Raiders would have done it, in my opinion. So I think that also wouldn't do well. But but the Raiders also not just done that, but they also got Kenny Pickett in the trade with the Browns. So the Raiders can have a QB that's can replace O'Connell for 6 to 8 weeks. So you don't have to worry about the quarterback room. So good for the Raiders to have those QBs.
Here's a question that as Finn asked, what teams made the most surprising cuts? And for me, for my Packers, was definitely Simons and Hardman. That was definitely a surprise. I think those guys deserve the cut, but I know maybe it was just a little more youth than experience. But Jack, Drew, what's the most surprising cuts?
Honestly, to me, I'm kind of a homer for saying this, but to me, it was Jeff Wilson Jr. because he was one of the best performers in the preseason, and yet you still cut him. And he also used to play with the Niners before, and you don't keep him now when Garendo in injury prone, and some guy Jordan James, and I know you just got Brian Robinson Jr., but McCaffrey could also is still kind of risking injury, but I mean, I still have all the faith in the world in McCaffrey anyway.
Drew?
I would say that Jeff Wilson, he did pretty well, especially in the last game. He did pretty well, and then, other surprising teams like I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like just having Jeff Wilson, him getting cut, and then obviously Jack doesn't want Jake Moody on the team.
He
So
should have been cut. You know what? I'm surprised he didn't get cut.
Like another interesting cut, and it's also a former Raiders, Renfro. He got released by the Panthers. And like for him, when he with the era with Derek Carr, like Renfro, third in Renfro, as Jesse would say. And he's just been such a great possessional type catcher, receiver. And I just feel like someone's got to at least trust in him. Hey, come back to the Raiders, All right, join the Niners if you want. Like, join. Like, I've been some teams. I feel like Renfro is like his career is just taking a dip, and it's just like I feel like he deserves a spot on a roster. And then as for another, well, not surprising, but like Deontay Johnson, he got released, and now he's been like practically on every team at this point. He got recently released as well. That's like a little surprise because he still has that veteran style material that a team should have.
Also, probably McCole Hardman from the Packers. That kind of shocked me because he was doing great with Kansas City, and I don't know why the Packers decided to cut him.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's youth over experience. I feel like Simons, good veteran linebacker. He could help out with with Rashad Gary, Quay Walker. Got the other guy comes off the top of my head, but yeah, like that, I felt like he should have stayed. But yeah, let's get to now our last segment.
Ooh, practice squad.
Hoping the Niners Wilson and Church.
Yeah, if they do that, I'm okay with that. But if they don't, then I don't know.
They cut him. So they didn't make the cut. But let's get to our little slash segment here. College football. As you know, college football began Thursday. In case you didn't know, there's been an annual thing that college starts in Dublin. There's a Dublin Classic matchup they do. And they invite sometimes in-conference or outer-conference teams. And this year they had the rival of Kansas State and Iowa State. And Iowa State prevailed 24-21. But Drew, I think you maybe saw most. Yeah, you probably saw the game than either Jack or I. So what's your quick takes? What did you like?
I mean, the score was pretty low, like 24-21 type of game. It was mainly defense. I mean, defense, no interception from both quarterbacks. But each team had 2 fumbles, which is kind of crazy. And then Iowa just had enough lead that they can just milk down the clock. And Iowa State, by the way, they just kept rushing, kept the clock going. So, but yeah, it's interesting that it's interesting that every college football game starts in Dublin, but obviously yes, both the teams were ranked. I think Iowa State was 24, 21, and Kansas State was 17 in the nation. So, I mean, I'm not going to be worried about. Because those are teams I don't really root for in college football. But overall, it was a great game. Kansas City tried to come back as much as possible, but time was ticking. So,
like we mentioned about the defense, I did saw a few plays of that. There was 5 turnovers in a span of 5 turnovers in 5 minutes. There was a special team to kick it off. Then it was a fumble. Iowa State fumbled it. I remember seeing that. So that's one way to kick off that college football season. Jack, I don't know. Have you seen much of the game? Do you have your insight on?
Which game?
Of Iowa State, Kansas State. the game in Dublin?
I didn't really pay attention to that game. I don't think this was the same day, but I was watching. Well, maybe it was. I was watching I was watching Hawaii against Stanford.
Okay, but let's get right to that. So there wasn't like a lot of upsets. I mean, UNLV could have been upset. They hired the head coach Dan Mullen, and as for him, Dan Mullen's has quite a lot of experience, and he's helping a young college of UNLV from Mountain West. I know they won the San Diego Bowl against Cal, but in this first year they escaped. It was 38-31 to an FCS college team of Idaho State. So that was pretty close. That would have probably been the upset. But what we consider this was the upset that Jack mentioned. Hawaii, Mountain West being Stanford as an ACC team, Hawaii won it, and then pretty much either, I don't know, it was a comeback or a nail biter. I didn't see much of it. But Jack, how do we take away of the Hawaii game you saw?
Well, for a game in week 0, it was extremely impressive. Both teams played very well. I saw early in the game that the Hawaii quarterback got injured, and yet he still played through his injury because he was limping for most of the game.
He went over 210 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And then the fact that there was a 38-yard kicker there's this guy from Japan, and apparently he said he learned how to kick only by YouTube videos. So that's also really impressive. And this is the first time that Hawaii had a win against a Power 4 team in, well, it says, quote, a significant amount of time. So God knows how long.
I mean, like Stanford, like as a Cal fan, Stanford. So they've been having their struggles these past few years, but you could say like this is kind of an upset since now that Stanford's an ACC team, so the Pac-12. If it's a Pac-12, this would just be like a regular win. But as for Stanford being ACC, a bit of an I guess like it's a little embarrassing loss to kick off their year, losing to Hawaii. But yeah, I mean, props to Hawaii. Who knows? Could Hawaii? I mean, the Mountain West with Fresno State. You know, you got Fresno State, San Jose State. Their season's been going up pretty well. I mean, quite well these few years with their head coach. Nevada, it's pretty much all colleges in California. Not all colleges, but some more like central, southern Cal to like Reno, where the Wolfpack play. And I don't know. I feel like could Hawaii maybe win the Mountain West? You guys think? I know it's too early to say, but I just feel like. Do you feel like Hawaii could maybe?
Well, who else is in there?
I mean, they got Fresno State, San Jose State. I know the Nevada with.
Yeah, Boise State.
Boise State, they're ranked, but we'll see how they're.
I think it'll probably be Boise State still.
Still, I don't know. I feel like maybe Hawaii I feel like it might be a pretty of a dark horse option because
there's Hawaii. It's a ridiculously dark horse.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe just beating a big conference opponent. I know Stanford. Some people might not consider Stanford being such a big conference, but since they joined a pretty big conference, sorry for repeating myself, it's a big win, and as their season plans out, we will see. And as for others like Fresno, speaking of Fresno State, they traveled to Kansas. They got beat pretty bad, 31-7. And then the UNLV game 38-31. And then there was a couple like CUSA matchups, like Western Kentucky beating Sam Houston. In the CUSA conference, they won pretty big there. But definitely props to Hawaii and Stanford. Hawaii, I mean, the game itself for Hawaii, though, getting a big win, home opener. We'll see where that pans out. But that was tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we see you Thursday, same time. We'll see. Hopefully Jesse will be able to join us, get the crew back together. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on our Instagram page. Drew, Jack, any late goodbyes?
All right. Have a good night, folks. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you once again, and we will see all of you on Thursday. Have a good night.
Yeah, like everyone said, please like and subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, please follow us on Instagram at Fountain Based Sports. And thanks for people who showed up today, take the time of the day to watch us do or make our content. See you Thursday. More content will be provided on Thursday. Hopefully, the four of us will be there on Thursday. So stay tuned, and then see you on Thursday. More content to be shown on Thursday. So see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, same time, 7 o'clock, 10 Eastern, or if you're in the Midwest, down west, Midwest time. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you next time.